Alright, hello everybody, welcome back to another IACP game log review. It's another one from Season 8.1, or I guess I should say Season 8 playtesting, version 8.1. As I said in my other video, 8.2 did come out, but this one doesn't have anything that was updated in 8.2. So, should be still pretty useful to you all. Actually, this has something that was updated at 8.1, which is the Vader's Finest card. We're going to get to see that in action in its new form, slightly tempered down. It was a little overpowered in the first version. Yeah, let's see what we got. So we are going to be spectating a game between, I believe this is Isaac and Derek. Let's see. And we've got a Rebels versus Empire here. Let's see. Oh, Dylan, not Derek. This is versus Dylan. So Isaac versus Dylan, and Dylan is playing the Rebels, and Isaac is playing the Empire. And Isaac has some vehicle action going on here in Empire. He is playing the ATST with Imperial retrofitting, of course. ATST is unchanged in IACP, but it did get reduced from 14 points down to 10 points. The retrofitting is, of course, the important card that goes with it. It's very similar to Beast Tamer for 1 point, gives it a free movement. Also gives some other things, like you can deplete it, I think, to give it focus. You can also, instead of giving it movement, you can give the vehicle assault, but it only works for ATST, General Weiss, and the tank. It doesn't work for any other vehicles in Empire. He's also got 2 groups of elite jet troopers. These are also unchanged from FFG. He's got 2 Imperial officers. He has General Soren, who is also unchanged from FFG, but he is 3 points cheaper in IACP. And then we've got, as we mentioned, Vader's Finest on the jet troopers. We've also got advanced comm systems on Soren, so that's going to allow his advanced or bombardment ability to reach out, as well as the advanced firepower to reach out to 3 spaces instead of just adjacent, and that's an attachment. And then he also has Zillow Technique, Rule by Fear, extra armor, and smuggling compartment, which is going to be really helpful for him to dig for the cards that he needs. Let me see if I can pull that up. It's always a little bit trickier to pull these up out of Vassal when they're not attached to a figure. There it is. And it's also going to protect him from any spy cards that might come up. Although I don't think Dylan is playing any spies in his list. Oh, he does have Verena. So it might protect him from an intel leak from Verena. Speaking of Dylan's list, let's talk about Dylan. He's got Cara Dune with Luke Skywalker, Farm Boy Luke. He's got also Zeb Aurelios, Verena Talos, Gideon, R2-D2 3PO, Heroic Effort, and Unshakable, which is, I think, very important if you're playing Cara Dune, so you can use Parting Blow with her and then be unstunned for start around when you want to use Call the Vanguard. It makes her very powerful if you can string those command cards together. Let's see. He also has... Okay, we talked about what he has. Zeb is slightly different, but pretty much the same in IACP. Luke is exactly the same. Except he has been recosted from 10 points to 7. So same as he is in the core set. However, he does have a new card from Season 7, Heir to the Jedi. I'm probably trying too hard for this. So that gives him +1 damage on his attacks and gives him a reroll, and it also makes him focus whenever he uses Saber Strike. So good to see Farm Boy Luke getting some play in IACP. Mission they're playing, this is not a tournament standard mission, although I believe it was once, yes, it was once a tournament mission at one point, way back in the day. I guess not that long ago. It was like Bespin Gambit time, I think. So this is the Anchorhead Bar, although I think it got errated to Anchorhead Cantina because the kitties. Gaining favor, player with initiative claims 4 red mission tokens, then an opponent claims 4 blue mission tokens. So initiative, that's going to be, that's confusing. Dylan's going to have the red tokens and Isaac's going to have the blue tokens. They're swapped with the deployment zones. Figure can interact with a patron, which are these guys right here. they control to place one of its mission tokens on that patron. Each player counts as having a number of VPs based on the number of patrons with one of his mission tokens. So 1 gets 2 VPs, 2 you get 5 VPs, 3 10 VPs, and 4 20. So if you are able to place your token on 4 of the patrons, then you will have an extra 20 VPs. You don't gain VPs each time you do that. It just the number you count as having goes up. So let's see. We got Dylan is, and again in the blue deployment zone. He has initiative, and it looks like he has already activated R2D2 and C3PO. Now this is a rough mission if you're bringing R2D2, because as you can see, he is not going to be getting up to that terminal anytime soon. He's going to have to use Gideon on R2D2 next turn just to even be able to reach that terminal. Now he could have opened the door there and actually would have been able to draw off the terminal with a Gideon movement, but then he would be really exposed to Isaac coming around the corner. Like, Isaac wouldn't even have to open his door to get a shot at Dylan's figures, so yeah, you can't really do that. This is a big conversation we have in the steering committee, by the way, is like, especially during map rotation time, is can we rotate a map in that makes R2D2 useless, potentially? Because if even one map out of 3 makes R2D2 a useless or bad figure to bring in your list, then he becomes pretty much unplayable competitively in tournament play. And then it's like, well, do we want R2D2 to be unplayable in tournament play? He's R2D2. Like, you gotta have R2D2, right? Some people think, it's fine, let's mix it up. Some people think, I think that R2D2 is a little bit too integral of a character to not be viable in tournament play. But some people think he's too much of a staple, and I don't think that's true either, because I think we see a lot of Rebel High Command. Not a lot, but Rebel High Command does get played over R2D2 now and then. Like, I would say every maybe 1 in 8. 1 in 8 Rebel lists you see Rebel High Command getting played. So anyway, that's a bit of a tangent. Just a thought about R2D2 looking at this map. Isaac activating his Jet Trooper is going to open that middle door and going to take control of the terminal there in the middle of the map. And the other one going to focus itself with Vader's Finest, and then going to move up against the wall there. So it looks like Dylan not interested in opening this door. He's going to come around the right side and maybe go for those 2 patrons on the right. And now we got the Jet Trooper moving in as well. Interestingly, not going to focus either of these Jet Troopers. Wants to get them into this left room. Must be plotting something with them. Soren going to double move up to the Jet Troopers as well. Soren has been another interesting discussion we've been having. I mean, what's better, Soren or Gar Saxon? And I think ideally you'd want them to be kind of comparable to each other. Although I think Soren's actually not. I mean, he was good with. He's good with, what are they called? Sentry droids, and now he's good with HKs. So I guess I can't say he's not great, but. Okay, so Luke Skywalker going to move all the way over to the far right to claim that terminal now that all of Isaac's figures have activated. So at least he's going to have the draw he needs, but his Luke is way out of position from the rest of his army. Right, so players drawing cards, and now the initiative passes to... who has the initiative? To Isaac. Yeah, I moved the player names around here so you could see them and be zoomed in a little more. So Isaac does have initiative here. Going to open the door with the Jet Trooper. And then I see an attack happening. How is this happening? Fleet-footed. Oh, I see. Looks like Isaac took back his move there. So that Jet Trooper is actually up against the door. So that makes sense. Or maybe I missed it. But anyway, that jet trooper is going to activate. Going to open the door with its first action. Second action will be to attack Verena. Since it is within distance 2, he gets to use Flyby. Also going to have Element of Surprise here to remove her black dice. So she's just going to get that one evade. Which is going to matter. It's going to be 4 damage instead of 6. And then Flyby is going to allow it to move back 1 space. He actually could have moved back 3 spaces there. So it's interesting that he decided to do that, because he has Vader's Finest, so he could have gotten 1 free movement from that after attacking. And then Flyby would have given him the 2. Okay, here comes the other jet trooper that was focused. Ah, so that explains it. So he wanted that second jet trooper to still have line of sight to Verena. So very nice positioning by Isaac here. And because he is playing concentrated fire on this attack, so this is going to be focused with a red die and stun on that jet trooper that already attacked Verena. This is a really good opening for Isaac here, especially if he can get the kill here. Oof, that is a good roll. Good roll. The evade's not going to matter so much here with the focus. I think that's a dead Verena, right? That's 7. No, she's taking 6. She stops 3. Yeah, I think she's dead. Oh, whoa, really? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Minus 3 is 6. And she took 4. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, she's still alive. She took 4 on the first attack, took 6 on the second one. So she is going to live by 1 point here. And gonna have to make it count. Oh, she's gonna go for the ATST though. That makes sense. ATST's got red, red, blue. And she gets to remove one of its attack dice. So there's an evade token being spent on that. Ooh, that was a bad roll for Isaac. So 6 damage into the ATST by an unfocused Verena, but unfortunately that leaves her pretty exposed here to these 2 jet troopers off to the left. They can easily come 1, 2, 3, 4 and get a kill. But it looks like... what's happening here? So now the ATST is going to activate. It does have 9 health left, but gonna go for the attack on Cara Dune. Gonna reroll. Ooh, nice. Gonna play Overwhelming Impact here. Although that's just really adding 1 damage. Oh, I guess he wants to blast too. So we're gonna deal 7 damage to Cardoon and then no blast too? Was there an evade happening? What happened? He didn't need the accuracy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Search for Pierce 2, search for Blast 2. I'm not sure what happened to the Blast 2 there. Okay, so I think what Isaac did was he gave it assault with retrofitting. So he tapped retrofitting. So now this is second attack, and now Zeb is using Get Behind Me to take the attack for Cardoon. Oof, gonna reroll that. 6 damage into Zeb. But that's the power of Get Behind Me. He would have had a dead Cardoon there, but able to pull that attack off and put it on Zeb instead. So now we see Heart of Freedom being played by Cardoon. And she is going to come up and take a piece of this ATST now as well. I don't think she can smash it. Oh, she can. You can definitely smash it. It just doesn't push. Alright, so going to come down and using Shock and Awe to replace one of the yellow dice with a red dice. She doesn't have... oh, she does have a reroll. I think you might go for the reroll on the green die there. Right? Because then you can get that search for +2 through that evade power token. But not going to go for it. It's still a good roll. 8, 9 minus 4 blocks, so 5 damage. And now, oh, gonna use Smash on the Jet Trooper, so that probably means she has Parting Blow. So she can, yep, there it is, Parting Blow here. So that is one of her big benefits is she self-triggers her own parting blow. So 2 damage to the Jet Trooper. Gonna spend a block token. Unfocused. No shock and awe here. And wow, he sure does have a lot of evade power tokens on his figures, doesn't he? How is he getting... Oh, fuel upgrade, guys. I missed the fuel upgrade. So that's why everything has +1 evade on Isaac's side. He played fuel upgrade. Okay, so that explains it. So in that case, probably want to re-roll the yellow. Because, yeah, he's going to do that. Did he re-roll already? So with that, he's going to be taking 1 damage. I wonder if Dylan forgot about professional. So he could have used it both of those attacks. And now we've got an attack from the... who is this? Let me see. Okay, so this is General Soren activating and targeting Cardoon with the ATST. Now, interestingly, this attack will get Blast 1 no matter what, even if Isaac doesn't want it. So it's going to do 1 damage to each of his Jet Troopers as well. Cardoon is getting her Hunker Down ability, at least, from that blocking terrain next to her. But it looks like it's not going to matter here. She's going to take 5 damage. Oh, it is going to matter. Okay, so that stops the Pierce 2. 4, 5, 6, 7. Going to take 5 damage. Oh, there's a lock-on from the ATST. It's going to remove that evade, which is going to allow him to Pierce 2 to do 7. And does that kill her? She has 14 health, I think, so. So not going to kill her. And then, wow, Soren's going to interact with that Patron. Nicely done with the positioning there. So he now has an extra 5 points. Gideon activated, pushed R2 up, and focused Zeb. Now we've got the Jets are going to come and finish off Cardoon. Yep, so Isaac going up to 14. And then, amazingly, Verena looks like she's going to survive this round. The other Jet Trooper are going to come up and attack Zeb here for 5 damage. Zeb has 15 total, so he's got 4 health left. And now Zeb going to activate. No, Luke is going to activate. That makes sense. Going to come in here and try to take out this Jet Trooper. Ooh, that triple block, though, with the fuel upgrade. Luke does get a reroll at least, and it's the same. Well, actually, is he going to get the kill? No, I don't think so. You can't, especially not through Zillow technique. He needed something better. 1, 2, 3, 4. I wonder if he would have been better to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He could have gotten up there and Saber Strike. Yep, so Agile going to stop pretty much all of it, unfortunately. Right? 1, 2, 3. Oh no, he's -1 block, so he's taking 1 damage. Takes 1, and he takes 2. No, he takes 1. And then the officer looks like he's going to go for attack on Luke. Okay, the nice thing there, though, is Luke is... I see what Dylan did, though. He is controlling both of those patrons with Luke. So now Isaac cannot interact with them. I wonder if you can still interact with them. I mean, you can still interact with patrons after your opponent has interacted with them, but at least this is slowing Isaac down a little bit. A really good attack there from this officer. That's going to do 1 damage to Luke and allow him to get focused. And now finally little R2-D2 is going to be able to get onto that terminal and draw a card. And now Zeb going to come down. Going to use Looking for a Fight, but Negation is going to stop that. Going to use his bow rifle, staff strike. Doesn't get to use the Honor Guard, but will be doing... Man, that fuel upgrade really got him good. I'm going to do 4 damage there, though. And now he can do his regular attack. And doesn't get to use Honor Guard again, but... Oh, 3 damage, so that means Zillow Technique. Oh, he didn't save him. Oh, Isaac's out of cards, so he doesn't have anything to pitch to Zillow. So he does get the kill there with Zeb, and now the other officer are going to come up and try to do something. Wrong dice, but that's a dodge. So no damage to Luke, and 3PO now going to refocus Zeb, and that is going to be going into round number 2. So Dylan on the board here with only 4 VPs, still working on the ATST and the Jets. Isaac has gotten a lot of points, 9 points from Cardoon, and he has 5 points from 2 patrons. And now I believe it's going to be Dylan's initiative here. So Isaac gets to draw. Dylan has the initiative. Call of Vanguard being played by Isaac, so that's not good. And wow, that 3PO I think just saved... Oh no, he doesn't save Zeb, unless Zeb has parry. No, he did. I think that 3PO positioning just saved Zeb. Zeb has 2 health left, doesn't take the +2 from the Jet Trooper. And looks like he's going to activate Zeb, going for the focused attack on the ATSD. Is going to get to use that Honor Guard here if he remembers. Yep, he's going to add a surge and he's going to change that red die from a butthole to a 2 damage and 1 surge result, and that is going to kill the ATSD, so that Honor Guard absolutely came in clutch there to give him the damage he needed. Dylan going up to 14, now going to use his regular attack. I'm not sure how he is... Oh yeah, he can move and attack, of course. So I'm going to go after that Jet Trooper here. 3 damage. Yeah, that beats Zillow. So another figure goes down. So Zeb is cleaning up, putting Dylan at 18 over Isaac's 14, and Zeb going to be able to fall back there to be next 3PO. Interesting play here. Self-defense by Dylan on this Jet Trooper to deal 1 damage to it. That makes sense with Cardoon. I think that is probably what it's being played for, is you smash something and then you play self-defense when it moves into a space adjacent to you, deal 1 damage on top of the smash damage and the parting blow. That's really cool, and I've seen a few people using that. But the Jet Trooper is going to attack Verena, and it's going to take her down. And actually going to fly into Dylan's deployment zone and hide in there. quite the insult there with the flyby movement and the Vader's Finest movement. Gideon going to pull Zeb back and going to focus R2. Oh no, he's not going to focus R2, is he? He's going to play planning. Going to play planning there. And that looks like... Oh no, Luke played planning. And going to take a shot at the focused... No, okay. That is not Luke. That is the officer playing planning. So Gideon focused R2-D2. Officer playing planning. And then made a focus attack on Luke. And looks like he did 1 damage. And now Luke going to come up and do a saber strike here. So that gives automatic Pierce 3. Rerolls the butthole, but gets another butthole. And so it's going to pierce. I think Zillow's going to reduce the pierce down to Pierce 1. And so he's going to do 3 damage to the Jet Trooper. And he's going to pitch take initiative. So just 1 damage to that Jet Trooper. Uh-oh. Jet Trooper starting off with an overrun here. Going to attack Luke. Gets another dodge. Very dodgy Luke this game. He gets 1 movement point from Vader's Finest. Then he gets 2 to spend from the flyby. So he's going to do 2 damage to Luke that way. And then he's got 4 movement points left. But he's just going to stay there next to Luke. 3PO going to come up and give Luke a focus. Ah, that makes sense. So Soren now going to come up and use his order ability to have the Jet Trooper perform another attack on Luke. And that's going to be quite a bit. It's going to do 5 damage, leaving Luke at 2 health, 3 health. And now it looks like who is attacking? 3PO attacking the officer. That might actually do some damage. Did that kill officer? Pierce 2? Why is that officer not dead? I guess he didn't have any damage on him. So officer takes 2 damage from R2 there. The other officer now going to take this patron, and that's going to put Isaac up to plus 10 VP, so he's at 26. Dylan's 18. Dylan has not taken any of the patrons yet, but it kind of makes sense. He has to focus on killing these guys, but the game log has ended. So I think that was time in the round. So interestingly, the patrons are what allowed Isaac to take that game, if that was time in the round. But also very good opening salvo there for Isaac with that taking on Verena, dealing as much damage as he did. Just missed the kill by 1 point, but able to finish it off later. And then Dylan had to put a lot of resources in taking down that ATSD that also did a lot of work thanks to the assault and the extra attack from Soren. And of course the focus on the Jet Troopers was very good with the Vader's Finest. Everything was really good. So, hope you guys enjoyed that one. That was another game log from 8.1 for Season 8. And let me know if you guys want to see more stuff.